Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is November 10th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right. These are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1950, watch out for that cast. It's Bob Orton Jr. 1966, former head WWF trainer Bill DeMont. 1981, don't feed him more, it's Ryback. And last but not least, 1992, doing the Von Erich family proud, Marshall Von Erich. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for November 10th. 1991, one of the toughest men ever in the sport, Dick the Bruiser. 2011, the creator of the Brain Buster, Killer Carl Cox. Alright, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for November 10th. Jumping in the Wayback Machine and grooving to 1967, where we see Pat O'Connor and Wilbur Snyder defeat Harley Race and Chris Markoff for the AWA World Tag Team titles in Chicago, Illinois. Markoff was a substitute for Larry Hennig, who had his leg broken by Vern Gagne. Disco ducking it to 1972, Lorenzo Parenti and Bobby Hart defeat Jerry Lawler and Jim White to win the NWA Mid-American Tag Team titles in Nashville, Tennessee. Grabbing my boombox and heading to 1987, Matt Bourne defeats Ted Arcadia in Midland, Texas to win the world-class Texas Heavyweight title. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1993. WCW holds Clash of the Champions 25 at the Bayfront Center in St. Petersburg, Florida, with a main event of Ric Flair defeating WCW World Champion Vader via DQ when Vader hit the ref. Fast forwarding 4 years to 1997, less than a month after their classic Halloween Havoc match, Eddie Guerrero defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. with a frog splash to regain the WCW Cruiserweight title in Memphis, Tennessee. Those were your super short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for November 10th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.